So today's Saturday, and usually I am doing a big house overhaul. Some of you might have seen my cleaning video from a few years back when I am just all day cleaning on Saturday. But I get to do my seed starting today, so I'm really excited about that. I am going to be having a baby midsummer, and because we live in cold Quebec, we don't have our last frost until about the middle of June. So I need to really be a little bit articulate when it comes to what I'm going to be planting this year. I don't want to be overwhelmed by the time the baby comes, but I really do have some things in mind that I want to have when it comes time to harvest, regardless of whether I'm having a baby or not. So I am still really overwhelmed with deciding what I'm going to plant this year, because last year I didn't plant anything. We had an issue with goats the year before, and they ate all of my tomato and pepper plants and a bunch of other things I planted, and it was really discouraging. And we did keep our goats. We chose our goats over our garden last year. They kept escaping their pen. It was just kind of a fiasco. So we no longer have goats. We gave them to a really nice man who loves goats and has the space to take care of them, and really they're like little friends to him. So I'm really thankful that we were able to pass them on to someone who is going to appreciate them. But that's okay, because we are learning, and that's a part of homesteading, right? So one thing that we really have high priority on our list is tomatoes. We really need to be growing tomatoes because our goal this year is to live off the land as much as possible. So that's why we got a Jersey cow. We're just tired of giving all of our money away to the grocery stores, quite frankly. As a large family, we can blow through a lot of food every month. We also want it to be more nutritionally sound. We want it to come from our own land. We have all this property to grow things on. That's why we moved here almost 10 years ago. We've had some good things come and some bad things come. So this year we're really working hard to get our land situated for gardening. Because I'm having a baby midsummer, we're probably not going to overdo it. Yvonne's going to be planting some things with our neighbor. They're going to share a patch of land to grow maybe some wheat and some potatoes on. And the kids and I are going to grow some things on our property. So I'm going to show you some of the things I'm going to plant today. I'm actually going through our tomatoes because we eat a lot of tomato products. We eat a lot of tomato sauce and fresh tomatoes and canned tomatoes and ketchup and all kinds of things, salsa, throughout the year. So that's something I would really like to reduce buying from the store and rather just having it canned and from our backyard. So we know what's in it. It comes from our own hands and hard work, and that was really our goal from the beginning. So I have a mix of seeds that I've had since last year. I also ordered some more for this year. They haven't arrived yet. With our climate where we are, it can be a little tricky to choose what to grow. I'm looking forward to having more success with my tomatoes. Every year I planted tomatoes. I've had great success in growing them. However, usually an animal or child has picked them or squashed them or ruined the plant. So this year we're going to be better set up, and I'm really counting on a good harvest of tomatoes by the end of the summer. I also really want some flowers. Anytime I planted flowers on this property, when my kids were little, they would pick them and give them to me, which was super sweet, but I never was able to successfully keep flowers growing on our property. Another thing that happened was we ended up building a porch over the place where I planted a lot of flowers, so I just haven't had success with a flower garden yet. But I did get some beautiful straw flowers this year. I don't know if you can see that. Oh yeah, that's a beautiful mix. And I have some more coming in. We have some sunflower. I have a sunflower mix. I love sunflowers. They are one of my most favorite flowers of all. I think they're so beautiful. And I'm actually I have some giant sunflowers. The kids are really excited about that. So they're gonna help me. And I have a son named Aiden, and he has been asking me for the last year if he can have a garden with a little sign called the Garden of Eden. So I thought that was just so funny and so cute. So we're gonna carve out a little patch of land for him to be able to have a little garden and make him a little cute sign. It's called the Garden of Eden. I think he would really love that. So let me see, we have some beets. I have so many seeds saved from the last 5 years, and I was really excited to learn probably like 7 years ago that seeds can keep for like 5 years if they're stored well. Maybe longer, I honestly don't know, but I did hear that they can last for 5 years at a time. Lots of lettuce to grow, but not yet. So some of the things I am a little late to grow, like my celery, I wanted to grow, I didn't plant that yet. And some things I'm gonna be a bit early on, but this is really one of the few moments that I'm gonna have to start our seedlings. I have a very big spring coming up, so I wanna make sure that I don't procrastinate on starting these little seedlings. We'll just keep them inside a little longer if we have to. I don't mind it getting a little cluttered in here if need be in order to grow a really lush garden if we can. I'm gonna put all my lettuces together. So yeah, okay, West Coast Seeds. If you've ever ordered from West Coast Seeds, honestly, I've had the best success with these gorgeous organic seeds from them. These ones might not be organic actually, but they sell a lot of organic, untreated seeds for organic growing and non-GMO. They're really the best seeds. Even when I bought more local seeds, they just haven't had the same success as these seeds. I really recommend this company. I had some tomato seeds from West Coast Seeds, and I put them away for probably 2 years, and they were about 5 years old when I took them out 2 years ago, and they produced better than the seeds that I just purchased from that year. So I'm just really, I love that company. They're amazing. And I will be buying from them again. These are really special to me, and I've actually been saving them too long. I hope they're still good. One of my dear friend's mothers, who I loved very, very much, got cancer many years ago, and she handed out these beautiful little packets of seeds to those who are close to her, and to plant and make a little wildflower garden to remember her by, and I thought that was just the most beautiful thing. Okay, we've got some carrots. So right now I'm just trying to figure out all the seeds that I'm planning on planting, how many weeks to plant them before, or to start them rather, before the first frost, which is usually mid-June here, as I said. These are my mammoth Russian sunflower seeds, and I cannot wait to see how big these get. And here is a random packet of seeds that one of my toddlers dumped out last year. They got into my seeds and dumped out a few bags of them, and I don't know which ones these are. I just gathered as many as I could, so I'm probably gonna give these to one of my kids, maybe Eden for his garden, and let him just have some fun with them. Kind of like a mystery garden. I do have a bunch of more seeds coming in, probably like 30 or 40 packs of other seeds. We're gonna see what we can do. So eventually Eve and I want to stop using plastic seed starting trays. We just got these at our local dollar store this year. And these little composting pots, I'm actually also using these no-name brand Dixie cups this year, just to start the seeds. There are such better, greener ways to start seeds, but it's just been a very hectic year for us, and with Eve's accident and everything, we've just been less prepared for our garden this year. We've been focusing on our animals and other things and homeschooling, and So this is where we're at this year. Next year, hopefully we'll be doing better. But for now, I'm going to be starting in these plastic trays and these little composting cups and these little Dixie cups. And that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna use. So hopefully it goes well. So like I said, I just got these at our dollar store. Our 5 and below, you could call it, because it used to be just a dollar store and now it's gone up in price. But I have these green ones. Let's see if I can move them without knocking everything over. And then I have these black ones that are a little bigger. And these ones, I've actually tried these before. I didn't have great success with them not staying too humid. Like years ago, I grew some tomatoes and peppers in them. And they did tend to mold. And so I have to really watch that this year. I did learn a new trick though, that you can sprinkle cinnamon on top of the dirt, and that will prevent mold from forming on top. But anyways, then I'm going to use these little cups. I have 2 or 3 packs of these actually. And I'll just take the dirt out. Obviously, I'm not gonna put that in the ground. And that's what I have to work with. Here are my seeds that I'm lining up. These were given to us actually. This is a kind of woodland garlic that a local farmer gave to us, and I'm excited to try those. I have some onions, a bunch of peppers that I had from a couple years ago that were these were not my favorite. These 2 brands honestly were not my most favorite seeds that I've tried. We didn't get very much in the pack for the price. We got significantly more from West Coast seeds, but that's okay. They were still there. I did have a few that I really loved, so I am going to use them again because I have them. These are our peppers. These are our tomatoes. These are the onions. You have some peas here and some cucumber. Actually, this is a cucamelon, not a cucumber. Cucamelons are so cute. And one of my best friends, she loves cucamelons. Those are cucumbers. And she usually brings me some, and they're so cute. They do look like tiny watermelons, but they taste like cucumbers. They look a bit like watermelon grapes when they're grown. Really cute. And they taste really refreshing. And these are peas. We're gonna see what we're gonna do with those. And some beets. There's some things that I'm not gonna be starting today, but I'm definitely gonna start with these guys. I have some carrots and pumpkins, and I have some watermelon seeds and all kinds of stuff coming in soon. So we're gonna get started with these first today and see how it goes. These are super cheaply made trays, like really not good quality, but I just need to get the seeds in the ground. That's the most important thing. And then it'll work itself out. I also want to show you, this is a potting mix that I got from our local greenhouse. They're just amazing. They grow the most beautiful vegetables, flowers, everything all year round. And this is like a perfect potting mix. You don't need to add any fertilizer or anything like that. It's already pre-made and just awesome for growing things. And I make a huge mess when I am growing things, and I don't care because this is a kid-friendly house and we can all get our hands dirty when we're having fun. And I know I'm gonna get asked, where are my kids when I'm potting soil, and why aren't they beside me making a huge mess too? Well, once I start, the 1 or 2 or 3 of them usually wander over. Say hi.
Look at that.
Yeah.
It's
So
yucky.
she'll probably join me. What I'm gonna do though, to distract her from actually getting into my potting plants, I'm going to give her own little mix of dirt on the floor. And I don't really care if she makes a mess. We'll clean it up afterwards, just over beside me. And then she's distracted, she's having fun, and I can do the work that I need. Right now, most of our kids are playing. It's Saturday. Later, they'll help me clean up, but they spent a huge amount of the morning outside in the sun and doing some farm chores.
Plants?
Yeah, those are Mama's plants. It's dirty.
Clean up your mess.
I will clean up my mess, but first, would you like to help me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Does that sound like fun? I'm gonna start with the main categories for us, which are tomatoes and peppers, mostly because we eat hordes of tomatoes and peppers throughout the year. Arduina, beefsteak tomatoes. This year, I'm not gonna go into a lot of the obsessive compulsive detail about what is what.
Mommy.
Thank you.
Welcome.
What is what. I am going to be planting tomatoes, and I only have a few of each seed left. I just want the tomatoes this year. I have future years to really list out everything. I've done that before. It's fun. It's a lot of busy work, and I just don't have time for it this year. My main concern is using up the few little bits of seeds I have left. So I'm making tomato trays, making pepper trays, and I'm not writing out all of these long names like I usually do, just so I know what I have and I can seed save. I'm mostly concerned about getting the tomatoes and the peppers this year. Let's see how many of these. Ooh, I have a few. In a bigger seed tray, I'll usually put a couple seeds just to see what will germinate. I just lightly press tomato seeds onto the top of the soil, very lightly. I've listened to a lot of people talk about growing tomatoes, and I've just seen a lot of people say don't push them very, very deep in the soil. What are you doing, Peanut? So the only thing I will separate are my cherry tomatoes from my bigger tomatoes. These are my black crim. These are so good. Oh. You guys had black crim tomatoes? I'm telling you, check out West Coast Seeds. They are the best. I hope these sprout, because next year for sure I'm gonna have some more from West Coast Seeds if I can't save any of these this year. Do you see my little girl? She's climbing on top of this. She pushed a chair over so she could have really easy access.
I want this one.
You'd like a seed? Okay, come over here. I'm gonna show you what's going on. You guys might not be as comfortable with doing this with little kids in your dining room, but I am fine with it because we'll just clean it up later. What are you making, Esme? Are you... Is that nice? Is it fun?
Yeah.
Okay, so the only thing I am going to do, besides water and put these in the sun, is I am going to label that these are tomatoes and not peppers, because I want to know what is starting to come up. I have my big old Sharpie here. I'm not going to leave this on all the time, but I am going to give it a little bit of time just while the seedlings are starting. I'm going to show you. My husband is currently making me this seed shelf. He has a couple extra shelves to add. I have done a greenhouse inside my house. It takes up a lot of space for one thing. I did get some seedlings from it, but I found that it ended up being too humid in the house. So it was fun to start. It was nice. It was a fun thing to try and experiment with, but I'm going to try this year. I did have success with just a seed shelf in the window before, so we're gonna do that. I might move them out of the window at night. It's a lot of extra kind of maneuvering, but just because the temperatures at night are quite cold. But we will see how it goes. Thank you. Just gonna put like 2 or 3 in each of these pots. There's plenty of room to put probably 4, actually. There we go. These are nice big pots. I like them. Thanks for joining me today for my seed starting video, and hopefully I get some really good sprouts this year. I'm hoping for a really great harvest despite all the things that we have coming up. And that's it. Thanks for joining me today, guys, and happy planting.